What's up, weebs, and welcome back to Anime Lane, the podcast where we take you down the yellow brick road of anime and have a look at everything it has to offer. As always, I am your host, Notorious, and once again joining me today is Shaun.
Hiya.
And Melina.
Woohoo!
On today's episode, we're scrolling?
We're scrolling and traveling.
On today's episode, we're scrolling our way back in time to have an adventure with some ninja and Ninja Scroll.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Written and directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri, animation production by Madhouse, and music by Kaoru Wada. Originally released in Japanese theatres June 5th, 1993. It was licensed in the UK by Manga Entertainment, sadly no longer exists, and in the US by Sentai Filmworks, and I'm pretty sure it's fucking out of print.
F.
And then we're going to catch up with Ruby and Aqua as they take their first steps into the entertainment industry in Oshi Noko. Check out the last episode where we covered that, save me going over all the same production stuff. But episode 2 was directed by Sungmin Kim. Episode 3 was directed by Koki Uchinomiya. Episode 4 was directed by Kuniyasu Nishina. And all episodes were written by Jin Tanaka. The show is available to stream on High Dive.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Wow.
It makes it sound professional,
well.
and then we start talking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, Ninja Scroll. Is that what we're starting with?
Yeah,
I assume so.
You're outvoted 2 out of 3, so
I
Yeah.
don't care.
2 out of 3, 2 out of 1.
Why do you watch the show first?
Because I wanted to.
I picked the show last because I was like, I want to chill at the end of the night and just enjoy that, because I know the tone of where Oshinoko was going for that point.
It was just the vibe of like the night. I was actually originally going to watch Ninja Scroll first, but I just didn't want to that night.
So
Ninja Scroll.
there's a lot.
How do we start?
I don't know. I should bring up the fact that Yoshiaki Kawajiri also directed Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Oh,
so
that makes a lot of
makes
sense.
a lot of
Seems
sense.
familiar, yeah.
That was the one thing we've seen that was popping in my head a lot as I was watching this. I will say I thought Vampire Hunter was better just off the bat.
I mean,
Same.
that's fair. I think stylistically this is closer to some of his other stuff, and so style-wise I prefer this.
Yeah, like style-wise, I really like it. It's just,
Story-wise, it's a little weak in the knees.
yeah.
Like the best
Don't
way.
say weak in the knees.
Yeah.
Well.
No. The best way to describe it for me is like they had a good story, and then this 15-year-old.
Do they have a good story?
I'm gonna get this. They had
Let
the
her
story,
speak.
and then this 15-year-old pubescent weave came in and was like, "So what if?
What if we changed
What
this?
what are we know? We can, you have to have sex with her."
You might not enjoy any of Kawajiri's stuff. Because this was, even though Ninja Scroll was the 90s, it's still very much like a byproduct of like the boom of the 80s of hard violence, hard sex, just pushing the absolute fucking limits
Balls
of
to the walls.
what you can put on the screen. So yeah, you look at it now and you go, oh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was just one moment particularly where, like, because I don't dislike the main character. What's her name again? Oh, Kaguro?
Kaguru.
Kaguro.
Yeah.
She just has this power.
Wait, hold on.
Ish.
She's not the main character, though.
No, the main girl.
The main girl.
I mean,
Girl.
she might as well be because the
Still
actual
very
main
much
character,
like Jubi as like the
I know,
central
but also
focus.
Jubi's kind of fucking useless for a good.
He
chunk
is
of this
useless,
movie.
but he kind of is like the main thing we're following. Like even in scenes she's in, it's very much
Yeah.
like she's not the main character.
Yeah.
True.
I wish she was the main.
Yeah, it would have been more interesting, and maybe she would have been a better character because I feel like she was just kind of dwindled down to be
The romance
Yeah.
character.
the romance was like, oh no, you have to have sex with her.
That
Just to
kinda
say, by the way,
comes-
that romance I didn't believe.
No, I didn't believe it either. It comes kind of out of left field and makes no sense
sense.
whatsoever.
No.
Like they've known each other for less. Also, this whole film takes place in what, a day and a half?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, no.
Like Jubi's calling her like Nakama and stuff, and I'm like,
Okay, I need to bring this up. Nakama doesn't mean anything special in particular.
Oh, I
it
always thought
just
it did.
means friend.
oh okay. I always heard from other weebs.
Yeah, because of One Piece, everyone's like, it means special friend. It doesn't. It's just friend. It doesn't
Okay.
mean anything special in particular.
Now I know.
Wow.
I'm just bringing it up because even in the context of the subtitles, I was like, are you really doing that? Don't do that.
Because like in the subtitles, he's calling her like comrade.
Yeah, he calls her at one point precious friend, and I heard the word Nakama, and I'm like, don't.
No.
Don't do this to me. I'm gonna have to explain this, and I'm gonna sound like an asshole again.
You did not sound like an asshole.
No, it's fair. But yeah, by the end, because he's poisoned, Juby is poisoned, and the only way he can save himself is by having sex.
Which is not even what happens in the end. He literally
No.
just kisses her.
Yeah, I mean, the
Shinzo
subtitles...
Abe's ghost is very disappointed.
Yeah, like, they say, you must make love. I'm like, I feel like if it's, a save life or death situation, that love is not necessarily a component that is necessary.
No.
Yeah, like is all the poison concentrated in like the junk area? Is that why it has to be sex?
Yeah, it's like, how is that like the solution? Because clearly the guy at the start of the movie,
Yeah.
the rock guy,
The Thing.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson, he literally just dies because he kind of,
well,
like, he kisses. Well, it's mainly,
Yeah.
I would say, from the kiss rather than anything else.
Because there's like a flashback to like the kiss.
he full on,
Yeah.
mouth round her face, like her entire face.
Yeah,
at
he
one point.
sucks face.
He does suck face.
So I don't get the whole fucker part of
Get
it.
fucking.
No.
Yeah.
No. If they just said, you have to kiss her because there's saliva, I'd be
Yeah.
like, sure.
'Cause that makes
whatever.
sense.
Sure.
Because
in
at least
this
that way I
world.
could sort of go, yeah, that would enter the body, as disgusting as I hate saying
Why,
that sentence.
why not just spit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather just spit in my mouth.
Well, Melina,
You're just gonna go in that direction, huh?
God.
my main point here is that none of the fluids involved with, that part are going to enter Juby's body at the very
No,
least.
yeah.
No.
So it doesn't make sense.
No.
I was legit chanting at the end. Don't fucking have sex with her.
Yeah.
Same.
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't. It'd be more noble of him as a character to just accept
Yeah, I
death.
also don't
Yeah.
think it is within Juby's character to even go that
No,
far.
because he recognizes. Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked. Because she's willing to, kind of sacrifice herself to be like, just do it, get it over with.
She's willing to let him smash.
Yeah. Because I think, as a
It's
as
a
a
sad
character,
smash.
she's kind of accepted it. Like, I guess,
Yeah.
I
But at the
have
same
this
time,
thing.
like, the film really tries to convince us that she's fallen in love with him.
Yeah, no, they
No.
don't.
I
They
don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Because again, it feels like a date.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
2 days at max. I'd be impressed.
yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't until like right at the end that I sort of realized it was a full day. I was like, isn't this just been like one night?
Yeah. Like, by the end, he's only really saved her, like, twice. Both times from being raped. So, maybe don't go off of that
Does
as a
the
basis.
cliffside catch count as saving? Because he's also saving himself.
That one I feel is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
just sort of, it happens.
It does happen. A lot of things just happen.
Yeah, because they set up this whole kind of Scott Pilgrim versus the world. You have to defeat the 8 demons.
Demon, yeah. sort of.
Yeah, the
Demons of the something.
yeah.
And then they all go down so fast.
Yeah.
To
A
the
lot
point-
of them by
yeah.
themselves.
Again, this is like, I think, similar to Vampire Hunter D, where you're introduced to a bunch of like characters who just
Die.
and it's like, we have like a very tight 90-minute runtime here. Do you really want to have 8
Yeah.
of these fuckers?
Yeah, I feel like a good 3 could have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 at most.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because it felt like it was a Monster of the Week show that was edited
Yeah.
into a film, and it just didn't work. Because they had the blind guy where it was like, I'm fucking, that's great.
Yeah, it's
like,
cool.
and then he just dies.
He just gets stabbed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, none of the villains really get much in
Impact.
the way of impact or screen time. Like, none of them feel like the main antagonist. Even Genma, the
Yeah.
person that Juby's trying to kill. It's like you get to the end and you meet him for the first time. And you're like,
with his Giga Chad.
with his
chin.
Giga
His
Chad
absolute
chin.
giga. Yep.
I literally like when I saw that I sent it to you, Michael.
Yeah.
Just the side by side picture of like him in the same position as like the Giga Chad, sort of
yeah.
like side on. And I was like, it's him. It's the guy. I couldn't take him seriously.
No, absolutely
That's
not.
fair.
No.
I can't take him seriously with his fucking Full Metal Alchemist arm either. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
It never explains that. Like, the scar on his neck, you're like, okay,
Yeah,
you
he got the
somehow
head,
brought your
yeah.
head
Yeah, he
back.
did a deal.
Yeah.
I mean-
the metal arm, though. Why?
The only thing when I can ever imagine was someone's like, my head got cut off, but my body came back. I'm like, so it's like Lizard, like you had a teeny tiny body with your ginormous fucking head.
It's like the Deadpool problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's a
But the
yes.
scar kind of makes it seem like he somehow brought them back together. So like he didn't regrow anything.
Yeah,
Because then you'd have the Deadpool problem of, does the head also grow back on the other body?
Is there two now?
Is there two now? Yeah.
Is the other one the Shogun of the Dark? Because you didn't get an explanation in the
yeah,
movie.
that's true.
it's a whole arc. What arc of who? What was it again?
Genma? What?
Shogun of the Dark.
Shogun of the Dark?
No. I'm talking about the fucking vision thing where it's like, if you have a boat, but you replace
Oh, the ship of Theseus.
Oh, yeah.
Theseus, that's the one. Yeah.
Is it
I like how you just went the arc of, and I'm like, I saw in my head ARC as a story arc.
Yeah, I
and
was
I'm
like that too.
Oh, that's on me. Yeah.
Raiders of the...
The lost story arc. Half of this fucking movie,
Yeah.
apparently.
Oh god, I feel like it could have worked so much better in a limited series format though.
Yeah.
Because then, even if it was a day, we could have at least felt like some sort of romance maybe develop, and the
Yeah. At
villains
least
got
have
the airtime they deserved. And
More, from our perspective, we'd have had more time to digest everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is the thing where, like, to make a comparison to, like, One Piece, recently one of the chapters revealed that it's only been a month since the last, like, story arc began.
Christ.
And so, like, that story arc's done, and now they're on to the next one, and I'm like, I'm sorry, that was 4 years worth of storytelling in
Christ.
real world time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I am not convinced that was only a month.
Yeah, how dare you?
Canon
have
says
aged.
otherwise.
I have literally aged.
But I like the concepts of the villains. Like, all
Yeah.
of them had something cool going for them where I was like, yeah. I mean, Serpent Lady was a bit weird.
Yeah.
Where are the snakes coming from? And do
Yeah.
I
It's-
really want to
it's
know?
one in particular that you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as they framed the Shaw, and you're like, oh no,
Oh, no.
that's gonna come out.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
And it just begs so many
slithers down.
questions.
It does. It really does. You just don't want to even
Don't-
ask them.
No, you don't want to ask.
No.
No.
You think
'Cause she
about
also-
asking, and then you're like, no, actually.
Yeah.
No.
Uh-huh.
And she sheds her skin
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is she made of snakes?
Is she Snake?
Is she the snake or is she made of snakes?
Don't step on Snake. She can also sort of shapeshift. Can't she?
Can she?
Because she became like that sort of old nun woman at one point. Or am I thinking of another one?
Old nun woman.
Because he goes to like a Buddhist temple at some point, like randomly, and like there's a nun there, and then it's revealed that like it's the snake woman.
Is it?
I don't know.
I only remember the scene with like he's in the water bathing.
Oh,
and
yeah,
sees
that
her,
too.
and then there's later.
He gets a Ghost of Tsushima like bathing pool scene.
Yeah. And then later it's like I remember a scene with him and Kaguro, which is when like he's covered in snakes and she like rescues him, which is where the questionable snake
I think
comes
that's like
into play.
right after the scene I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Could
So-
be, yeah.
I like this movie, but at the same time I struggled through it this time.
I'm overall I think I'm unsure how I feel because like I don't know if I liked it.
I think
Yeah.
my kind of main issues with it are it has really nice action, so I wish it had just, rather than actually trying to tell the story,
Just been an action movie.
just been an
Yeah.
action movie.
Just been a brain off
Yeah.
spectacle. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
like sort of like Akira was.
Yeah. But at the moment it tries to tell too much of its story, so there's an imbalance between the action and the storytelling, I think.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And to the point where the end just becomes like,
That's it.
no, even like just the last act is a bit nonsensical and incomprehensible to watch.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's trying to set up more, but I don't know if there is any more.
I mean, even then, like, it's just down to like they show up in the town and then they just start fighting for the last like 20 minutes.
Yeah, the Chamberlain guy who's not the Chamberlain guy.
Yeah, who
'cause he
turns
got
out to be
killed.
the Giga Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't do the third act justice, though.
No.
'Cause
No.
they don't build it up in a way we expect it to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of everything happens, and then you're in the third act, and you're like, oh, we're still going. okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just continue. Nothing goes up and down. You're just kind of in a straight line, and you're like, okay. Because to me, they didn't really build up Genma to be like, he's unbeatable. Because he's alive again. He's beat him before.
Yeah, but we didn't know him when he was,
Yeah.
alive originally. So we have no attachment to him as like a person. So it's like he came back to life, and you're like, as far as we're concerned, in the bounds of this movie, that's entirely possible.
We get one flashback.
Yeah.
And he's not even really in it until his head's cut off.
Like, he is the only character that we know that has resurrected, but at the same time, we only know any one character having one in particular ability. So it's like, well, technically, as far as we're led to believe within the fictions and rules of this universe, that's all fine and possible.
Fine and
Whereas they're
dandy.
like, it's the forbidden art. No one can attain it. No human can attain it. And you're like, just because you tell me that doesn't mean I have to believe it.
No, exactly.
This might sound like a stretch, but like at some point there was a part where I was like, am I supposed to view this movie in the sense that like it's a legend being told to me or something?
I think it's meant to kind of be like some
sort of folklore story.
Kind of. It's not really based on anything like that, but it's taken the sort of I guess stylings of it.
Which I guess from that angle I can like it a bit more, but even then I don't think not much.
Yeah. I think it would make the title make sense.
Yeah, I think that's mainly where I was going with that. I was
Yeah.
like, is it like I'm reading a ninja scroll?
Yeah.
I mean, if they lean more into that, it could have worked better.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agreed.
Just have like an opening monologue. It's like, let me tell you the story.
Yeah.
I would have liked it more because the nonsensicality of everything and everything just kind of happening would make more sense.
It opens like Dragon Dentist with like a person on like a laptop, and then suddenly we just cut to feudal Japan.
God.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
Way better. Yeah. Because stories. If you look at, let's say, other legends, they're pretty boringly written. I'd say because things just happen.
Yeah.
It's not like, ooh, the suspense is killing me. Like, there's a lady, she's a ghost, she kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that is how they wanted to present it, they should have done it better.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I had a thing I was gonna say. I blanked.
I believe in you.
You can do it. You
got
can
it.
think of the thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the over-sexualization of women again, or is that another conversation?
I was gonna bring that up.
Well, then let's get into
Let's
it.
get into that, and I'll try and claw back over the point I was gonna make.
Yeah, so this film, the first moment that you're like, oh god,
It's early.
It's very early.
It's very early, and we're just fully there. I'm like, oh,
That's
already?
that's a rape.
That's it. That's that. That sure is that.
Cool.
And it's not even like it's the most visual one, but at the same time, it's also not even close to the fucking worst one.
No.
Because it comes later when it's the second time that she's been captured and is about to be. And the guy just puts his fingers in his mouth. And it almost looks like a hentai for a solid 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
With that opening scene, I was tempted to like ask you, did you send us like a different kind of anime? Because that's fucked up for this show.
Just without telling us.
Yeah.
Good April Fool's joke.
Oh yeah, it's June, motherfucker.
No, this isn't Legend of the Overfiend. That's fine.
Yeah, I was also seeing that. I didn't remember this. I didn't want to remember this part. Oh god.
Did I remind you that part
Yes!
existed?
Yeah.
That part made me the most uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, the beginning made me very uncomfortable. But I don't want to say it's a classic thing. It's like, well, if you let me, have sex with you, you'll live longer. I was like, well, that I wouldn't take that fucking deal.
No.
Why would you? just kill me already, Jesus. And then, having that in mind, and then coming the second scene, and you're like, oh my god, it can get worse.
Yeah.
You see like the position she's like tied up and you're like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Please don't
Yeah.
do what I'm thinking you're gonna. Oh god, he's doing it.
Yeah.
Creepy bastard.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, nudity can be done in a way that is not sexualizing.
Yeah.
And here they very much lean into it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in like vulnerable moments for her where, you're not worried, let's arch my back, let's look pretty.
Yeah.
I want to see like realism maybe. More struggle
In my
instead of
demon hunting
attempting
anime?
yes
Yeah.
just for the sake of realism and less
Yeah.
Booby.
I mean, you do know we're watching anime. That's not a defense or anything, but
No,
I think you expect too much.
Yes!
Yeah.
I expect respect for women.
I'm sorry this is fucked up. I know it's fucked up, but you gotta lower your expectations.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is just like there's worse is the problem.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But those scenes especially really made me think, like, it's like a 15-year-old was the final producer that was like, bit more. Do a bit more. I feel like
We say
should-
15-year-old, but we got to remember that, especially at the time, Japan was like a heavily sexually repressed country.
Still.
Yeah.
So, like, in that lens, like, it sort of makes sense that what we deem as being edgelord, cringe teenage material is like, to them, they would write in their like 20s or 30s.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Like, to me, this is peak American weeb 15-year-old writing, like,
Now
I'm
you
gonna
know where they
write-
get it from. Like,
I mean, yeah, I understand
you keep saying that, and I'm like, this is where it comes from.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's to me like the prototype almost of like, this is what I imagine.
Project.
Yeah,
be.
like this
Yeah.
is what the neckbeards sit down and like.
Hail is the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, as like a kind of, you know, and their fan fictions all kind of just mimic this, and you're like,
No.
you do realize this is not the thing to be like striving towards.
Yeah.
From an animation perspective, maybe in a sense, yeah, but
Yeah.
not from like a storytelling perspective.
Absolutely not. No. God.
I can at least sort of, in some sense, forgive some of the stuff that happens in some other Kawajiri's productions, because like Demon City and Wicked City are both horror films. So in the context that those, you know,
It's horrible things.
Yeah.
it's horrible things that are happening to people, and one of them turns into a big spider. So it's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
could kind of get it. Like,
Fits a tone.
yeah, it fits
Yeah.
the tone. Whereas here, it's like, this is just like, this is a Jidaigeki. This is a period piece about ninjas in the Edo period. Why are we why are we
doing this?
Yeah, why are we doing this?
Yeah. We don't need this.
You know,
No.
ninjas who are also Ronin.
Yeah, like that's what I don't get. They do say at one point Jubi is a ninja, and I'm like, but he's
Not really.
not, because he's like a Ronin. He's a masterless samurai, as far
Yeah.
as I, because he even mentions that his master, I don't think he's dead, but like cast him out and tried to kill him. So it's
Yeah.
like, so he's a Ronin.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
a ninja.
Yeah. And he does, work for money.
Yeah,
He
He's a
mercenary.
he's a mercenary.
he's cheap.
Yeah.
he's a
He's a very
cheap ass
cheap
mercenary.
mercenary.
Yeah.
I love how it never once gives you any bar of comparison for the Rio
Absolutely.
No.
that's mentioned in
No,
this.
absolutely not. No.
I will say, by the way, at one point, I ended up starting this with like the dub. I quickly switched to the sub, and like it was weird that like in the dub they call it just gold,
Yeah, yeah.
which made more sense for me in my Western head.
Yeah, it does kind
Yeah.
of like make more sense. Like I get why they keep it in the subtitles, but all you need to do is put up a little thing like 1 Rio equals something USD, and like even though
Yeah.
we're British, we kind of have a base understanding
Yeah.
of
yeah.
what
Exactly.
That might-
what
what that
dollar
means, yeah.
means.
I want to know if he's getting a penny or like a little more.
From the way they react, I'm assuming he's cheap as fuck.
Yeah, because like
Uh,
he only works for like what 100.
Yeah, that was his pay
Yeah.
from the creepy old dude that
Yeah,
poisons him. At the beginning, on the bridge, he's like, "Oh, you only did it for like 20 Rio. Like, how can you do something so cheap?" And it's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so that's cheap, but then like 100 wouldn't be much.
Much more.
Much more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not really. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, I'll
Well,
find out.
let's
I want to
just
see if I can find that.
out.
I just want to mention, by the way, from the brief time I listened to like the dub voice acting isn't good.
It's
No.
it's like the early 2000s manga, so not even like their peak
No.
shit posting era.
No.
Um,
I just remember like Juve sounding very dead inside.
yeah.
Okay,
Which
I
is
mean,
mainly why I switched back to the sub.
smart. I don't even bother with the dub usually. I'm just like,
I think it depends on how I'm feeling.
Same. And if it's Lupin, because I'm more like partial to Lupin being dubbed at this point for me.
I get it, yeah.
So the Rio, 1 Rio equals 0.
Is it like yen?
I don't know. Let me put in 100 Rio and see what I get. It's basically like 50 pence as 100 Rio.
Christ.
My guy is cheap.
Yeah.
I mean,
20 is like 10 pence.
Wow, he
mean,
really.
But you got to
Back
remember,
then.
like, back then,
Yeah.
in terms of, like, that era, like,
Mm-hmm.
even then, like, 50, like, you know, our grandparents probably go on about it all the time where they're like,
Yeah.
I remember when I used to go to the shops and get loads of stuff for 50 pence and I'd still have change. And it's like, because
Yeah.
we're not in that fucking era anymore, Grandad.
inflation.
It's the classic. It's become so expensive now. It's almost like we're in a crisis.
Yeah. But
You
even
know.
then, like, things were more expensive anyway.
It's like that one Futurama joke where like it's like a taxi driver guy and like it's like this really long chase and then at the end it's like, this 200 like fare could have got me 1 gallon of gas. And then dramatic music plays.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Any other points? I mean,
Yeah.
one scene I did really like is when Juby had Kagero's like headpiece,
Oh, and he's smashing
and he
into-
just fully smashed his heads with.
I
Genma.
do like the final battle between
Yeah.
him and
There's good- very good
Genma.
moments.
Like,
There's good stuff
it's
in
a
there,
nice set piece. It's a shame that it's just
Feels
yeah.
very.
It would have been really funny if he did just die from the headbutts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's your weakness.
I mean, I also like the rock guy where they're like, "You must have a soft spot." Stab him in the eye.
I thought he was gonna go for another area. I'll be
Yeah.
Yeah,
honest.
same. I was also like, groin.
Yeah. The ironically non-hard place is the groin. That would have been funny.
Exactly.
Well, he's not
made
rock hard, that's for sure.
Oh, for
Then-
fuck's sake!
I was being subtle about it, you fucking idiot.
But yeah, that particular scene, I think it really, if they dragged it out a bit longer,
I don't know if you
Ignore
can hear
it,
that
just
in the
ignore it.
background.
yeah, if they dragged it out a bit longer, where it's like he's really trying to like beat him, but he keeps healing, it would have been better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
They just needed more time and more build up.
Yeah,
for it to
I also
work.
think like having him absolutely smash his face in, like right after he says, you know, oh, you can't kill me because I'll just keep
Come
joining
back.
my body
Yeah.
back together, and then he just purely smashes his face in. It's like,
Okay, so what's that gonna do?
yeah, no, I'm more like thinking, well, if he smashes his brain to bits,
Surely.
He's-
surely,
He's dead.
and then no, he just
like
fully
zombie rules.
remorphs, and I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
And then
but-
it's gold.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get Desolation of Smoke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just killed by gold, and it's.
I mean, gold is hot, I suppose.
Yeah, but like gold takes a lot of like heat to melt.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
also
I
the
also
thing,
was thinking.
yeah.
I was like, I don't think gold's melting temperature's that low.
Yeah.
Gold's
But
one
okay.
of the softer like ores, but at the same time, like I don't think a fire's just gonna
To
Yeah,
get it
melt.
that
like,
fluid?
yeah,
It's like that-
much.
That one part in like the first scene of Game of Thrones, Khal Drogo just drops like gold in like a boiling pot, and then 6 seconds later, it's suddenly like molten.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, give us time.
Yeah, you gotta wait a bit,
Come on.
or at least something hotter than just a normal fire.
yeah,
Yeah, but it was very much, oh, The Hobbit. Oh, still doesn't work.
yeah,
No.
Even here, still doesn't work.
yep.
I get it's a whole visual spectacle, but
I
doesn't
said
fucking work.
I even don't think it's that much of a visual spectacle, because I
No.
don't think the gold against the red is a nice matchup.
nah.
I think it can be a nice allegory if you want to look for one.
Yeah,
I guess.
You know,
I'm
greed kills, but I don't think that was his story.
No, absolutely not.
Nah.
I said to you, he's defeated by gold. He's a Cyberman.
What if, like, you were to try and kill him and steal part of his body?
I mean, yeah, you could just cut
That's-
his head off and run away.
That's just the story of Dracula in Castlevania 2.
Yes.
But yeah, you could literally just cut his head off and run away, and like eventually he's gonna bleed out, so you wouldn't
Yeah.
even have to run away that long.
Just chuck
You
him in
just
the
need to
ocean.
wait
He
for
can't
brain
swim.
death. Yeah.
Like
You may have
head
cut my
cannot
head off, but
swim.
you can't defeat. Hey, put me back. Put me back. What the fuck? Hey, no, I need to
I
get
did
back.
not see this one coming.
Just put his head in a box.
Don't chuck it in the ocean. How's the head gonna swim? Just a big splash.
He uses his like tongue as like a motor.
God.
Yeah, so much potential for
Yeah.
comedic effect,
Uh-huh.
though. I mean, it's very Deadpool, but
Yeah.
when you have the same healing thing
Yeah.
you're asking for.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think Deadpool was a thing at this point in time.
That's fair.
If
Not
it
even
was, it would be
common.
very early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, that was
Ninja Scroll.
Yeah.
Ronin Scroll.
Ronin Scroll.
yeah.
Yeah.
overall thoughts for me is mostly like, should have been a series, would have worked better. Some elements needed some, workshopping.
Just
Yeah.
iron out the kinks.
Yeah.
And, iron out the kinks.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to make that joke. Yeah, it's that thing where I enjoy it in a sense, but at the same time, there's so many fucking problems with it.
But you don't
And it's also a
recognize them.
slog to get through.
Yeah.
I'd say this is a good movie I'd put on as background noise,
Yeah.
but like only certain parts as well. 'cause,
Yeah.
You did- skip. Okay.
yeah, like I can't exactly do something like some sort of menial task while like the rape scene's happening in
Yeah.
the background because that just feels weird.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Uh,
6.5.
Yeah, 6.5 I think is fair.
I think 6 because the rape scenes disturb me way too much.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a balance between 6 and 6.5.
No, yeah. Because again, like some things gave me the this is fun. Like
Yeah.
blind guy, samurai, Batman
Yeah.
Forest 5. Like,
That was the best part of
ooh,
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. And then it's just he's dead. I would have liked for him to maybe run away, come back later, whatever. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have just had a movie about that
Instead,
guy.
we gotta
Yeah.
have String Guy
Why is it
because they
string?
kind of set him up as like a thing.
Yeah, the second big boss ish.
Yeah.
The boss below the boss.
Yeah.
Why
So
is it
he's just
string,
kinda-
by the way? Is that like a cultural thing? I don't
I
know. Or is it?
don't know.
Do they just
I
like
don't know.
string?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know if it's meant to be like a reference to the red thread of fate that Japan has, where like everyone's
yeah.
connected.
That could be it.
Maybe.
I feel like that's a fucking stretch, though.
Yeah, but this movie is full of stretches.
I
I
know
mean, it's also electricity.
he can
string.
conduct a lot of stuff through it.
Yeah,
He
so
does electricity, but I think he also lights someone on fire at one point.
maybe it's the kite thing, Ben Franklin. Fuck if I know.
Again, a stretch.
I'm trying to make this a better movie.
I want to believe that's what they were going for.
It's funny you mentioned like the series thing though, because it does have like a TV series, except it's a sequel.
Aww.
Yeah, it's not like a retelling. It's like a direct follow up. I've never seen it, so I'm not sure how good it is. But
They should redo this as like an actual series, like
Yeah.
this story.
I don't know if it would work now. Not from like
I mean,
the-
you'd have to
the-
change it, obviously.
Not
but-
from
Yeah.
like the sense of the context, but content even. I just don't think any studio
pick it up.
would pull it off animation wise. Like I think the industry's too different now.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because even Madhouse, who made this originally, are still around, but they're just like a shell of their former selves. Yeah, long gone are the days of this, Death Note, Hunter x Hunter, and all that sort of stuff. So
It's a bit depressing when you put it like that.
it is. But sometimes
Some
these
things are left in the past.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we'll just move on to Oshi.
Let's hard cut to something
Hard
completely
Yeah,
different.
very fucking different.
Can we play the intro?
Oh.
Da, 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 da.
Da, 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 da. Why does it go so fucking hard?
It's a
I
really
don't
good
know.
intro. It's very K-poppy to me. Could be that the J-pop scene sounds very similar.
I think the J-pop scene
Yeah,
sounds
probably.
kind of
Yeah.
similar.
Because like this one particular K-popper, no one's gonna know. Red Velvet sounds a lot like songs of theirs. It's very similar in vibes.
Yeah.
Say that we're gonna get
Until-
comments like, I know Red Velvet.
Yeah. Well, I
They're
can put them in the
nice.
tags now. So.
yeah.
Put K-pop in the tags. It's gonna be fucking great. People love that shit.
Algorithm,
Why the fuck are they
algorithm.
talking about rape and ninjas?
Branch out.
You gotta stick around.
yeah.
Stick around.
Get that watch
We'll get
time.
there. We're good there. Just wait. No, don't skip ahead. No.
No. Not clickbait. Not clickbait.
Yeah, this
At
is
some point, monks start
Monks,
just
yeah.
singing.
yeah.
It's the chanting that gets
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, you're like vibing hard, and then we're like, oh no.
It's like, am I about to start watching Attack on Titan?
Exactly. Very much feels like Attack on Titan, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right
man.
after I watch these episodes, that's the theme I listen to.
That's yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so that's Idol by Yoasobi. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. They also are doing the Gundam, like current Gundam series openings, and
that
like the
would
first
make
one was
sense.
kind of meh, But yeah, like they kind of go unnecessarily hard at times. It's like, oh, okay, this is a show about robots and girls in high school.
Which
And
one has the
Okay.
better OP?
I'd say Oshinoko has the better one. I'll be honest. Yeah. So the actual show.
Yeah, the actual subject. matter.
So we're obviously following on from when we talked about it. Well, it'll be the last episode where we talked about stuff for you guys. This is like a bit ago for us. Obviously, you know, first episode covers like the first volume of the manga. It covers, you know, the whole prologue arc where we meet we meet Goro, we meet Serena. I don't know. They two die, become Ai's children. Ai gets murdered.
A lot
And
happened.
then
10 years later, here we are.
Aqua decides that he's gonna get revenge by becoming someday in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, he was gonna be an actor, but then he was like, nah.
Nah.
Because he talks about it, he's like, if I become an actor, I'll be in the right circles. I'm like, yeah, I guess. And then he just kind of gave up on that.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just
I didn't
like,
like
I'm
it.
gonna be a production guy.
Turns out I didn't need to go to that much effort.
Yeah. I find it hilarious that he's like, I'm not talented, I realize that, and then proceeds to do everything that a talented actor does.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I was only talented because, you know, I was a 30-year-old, I mean, probably older, in a, like, 4-year-old's body. But now, you know, I've caught up.
No, you
And
haven't.
then-
No, dude.
No, you probably have these prepubescent flows
Yeah.
going through your body and like, oh no, not again.
But like, it's when they're on set. I know I'm jumping to the 4th episode here, but they're on set.
We're gonna be jumping around a lot.
Yeah.
I imagine,
Oh,
so.
yeah.
He's on set and he's like, you know, I'm not a great actor, but I'm gonna use everything that's here to make myself look good. And I'm like,
Because he knows about the props.
Yeah.
but
'Cause he's a production
he lists, he's like, I'm
guy.
gonna use lighting, the camera,
And then
the
he
set, and I'm
doesn't.
like, but that's what actors do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, lighting is not up to you, my guy. You stand where your mark is, because otherwise people are like, oh, for fuck's sake, you're out of focus.
Stupid shit.
Yeah, I mean, this is a TV drama, and knowing how TV dramas look in Japan, there's no depth of field.
No.
So-
A TV drama that, as we learn, is not attempting to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TV dramas in Japan have like no depth of field, so like he
Okay.
could have stepped off as Mark and been fine.
Just wanted to know because I was watching. I was like, no, feeling
You're not
bad
doing it right.
for the camera guy. I was like, no.
You also
just
got to remember they're
focus
dealing
it.
with like new actors too, so like
my
people who
God.
probably can't hit their fucking mark anyway.
I mean,
Like they use the
they're
whole.
models. They can be. Here's an X on the floor. You fucking stay here.
Yeah, but still.
They
Yeah.
wouldn't. They would have moved an inch.
You gotta remember they're using this whole production just to promote them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's only like Kana who's like actually trying, and even then she's not trying hard because she doesn't want to upstage everyone.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I
Yeah,
think.
can I just say she's my favorite character just
Oh,
from
yeah.
these episodes? And I don't know
Yeah.
how that happened.
No, she was a. I mean, they mentioned like, oh yeah, when I was like 4, I was a bitch.
Yeah, like
She's
damn.
self-aware enough, I
Yeah.
think.
Like this is the fastest redemption arc I've ever seen.
Yeah, we saw this bratty 4-year-old, and now she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, people stopped hiring me because I was a bitch.
The genius child who could lick baking soda in under 10 seconds. I love the animation. Where like she's just crawling on the floor.
It's bits like that I like within anime. It's like they don't take themselves seriously.
Yeah,
No.
the
It's like,
cutaway
you
gags.
need this visual.
Yeah.
I thought about it, and now you have to see it.
I drew it. You have to see it.
That's the 2 things she does. Cry on cue.
And lick baking soda.
Unlike baking soda.
For what purpose?
Also give fantastic reaction shots as well.
Oh, yeah.
They end like the second episode. of her,
yeah.
like,
Where
reaction
she
shots.
re-meets Aqua and she's like, you're still acting, aren't you? And he's like, no. And she's like, but why?
I thought the reveal at first was going to be like, I want to destroy you.
Yeah.
He's
though.
like, no, not you again. I was expecting that arc. The
Yeah.
whole, no, I'm better than you. And the other one's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's just effortlessly good and she's trying
Yeah.
so hard.
Yeah.
But no, he just doesn't care.
I love how like she hears his name and she's like, are you Aqua Hoshino? Aqua. And Aqua's just like,
Who are you?
what the fuck is happening?
How many people are there named Aqua?
Yeah,
Let's be real.
exactly.
Full name Aquamarine.
Marine, yeah.
Which they again mentioned. It's like, if I get rejected, it's this fucking name.
Curse you, mother.
Even though he's vastly overqualified to attend that school, apparently.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, average is like 40. They say,
Yeah.
you're 70.
70.
I mean,
and they're
it says like, I think in like some text that pops up. Keep in mind, this man has passed a lot of medical
Yeah.
exams.
I think it also says like their like drop down rate or something's like 50 at best or something. And he's like up at 70. Again, I'm not 100% sure what any of that actually means.
No, but
Cool, bro.
Yeah.
big number.
Are they
number is
meaning
big.
that their general education course
Shit.
has a 40% pass to get in?
I don't want to say.
And this man got 70, which is still not particularly high.
No,
Yeah.
it's like 2/3.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's a school for entertainment people, and they're like,
But
"Oh,
they
if you
also
miss
have the
classes,
general
man."
education. Because
Well,
he's
why?
in...
I still wonder.
I don't
why.
get
Yeah,
it.
they make a point to say
But
every
here's-
student in that.
Here's
like,
the
school.
fun thing, having now read and caught up with the manga, the school part of it never gets fucking brought up half the time.
Oh, good.
It is mentioned in passing as a way to bring in new characters most of the time.
It's just a set piece.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They basically never attend.
Oh, great! I mean, it is said like, you can take off whenever you need.
Yeah, but the thing is, Aqua is in the general education course.
He shouldn't be
and
able
he starts
to.
getting steady jobs after this.
They
and he's
make a point to say if you don't attend, you're probably gonna have to like repeat. a year.
repeat, yeah.
What the fuck?
But I can tell you right now that I think as of the current arc, they're in their 3rd year. So no one gets held back.
How? I mean, Aqua, smart as fuck. He's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like if you miss enough classes, but they think he does his homework and therefore knows everything already.
As long as he's passing the tests, I suppose. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ruby.
yeah, Ruby's fucking dumb.
Hilariously dumb. Though.
Hilariously dumb.
Yeah. Naive.
There's a real sort of Dipper Mabel like situation going
Yeah,
on
there
here.
is.
Yeah.
I couldn't avoid it in my head. I love every second of it.
I also love how, just to jump to the whole sweet today thing, like everyone's like, except Aqua, who his reasoning for knowing what it is doesn't make any sense to me.
He likes the manga.
No, but he's like, anyone who's in production and knows that it's not a joke or something loves it. And I'm like, what?
Huh? What does that mean?
Even in the manga, I read that and I was like, huh? What? Because then you find out what it's about and you're like, even more like, huh? What?
Those that like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for them.
But then it's like, Ruby like clearly doesn't know what it is. Apparently, is it Miyako? What's the mum figure's name? I think it's Miyako.
Yeah.
Miyako.
Something like that. Mum 2
Mum too.
is what I've been calling him.
It's kind of like, she's like, I'm vaguely familiar with it. And then you start watching it and suddenly they're all fucking experts in
Yeah,
it.
like Ruby
Yeah.
talks about like, oh, this is so different.
Yeah, she's like, this isn't how it plays out in the manga. And she's
You're
like, all
so-
these original characters. And I'm like, Ruby, what? How the you've just said that, oh, it's that thing in Brother's Room. Okay?
How the fuck? Yes, this. I am now an expert.
Was Aqua like that obsessive at one point that it just bled into their
I
brains?
don't know. He's like standing there in the back reading it as well, just flipping through it, and then Ruby just grabs it from him and it's like,
Why?
I understand now.
Also, so Aqua's playing the stalker character.
Yes.
That only appears in the final episode,
Yes.
apparently.
Yeah.
So there's been no hint at him.
I mean, if he,
I
if he
assume
doesn't
it would be-
appear, like you can have like a series where like he like messages. or, like,
I'll point
something.
to
Yeah, maybe,
one
yeah.
contextual reference in that
Okay,
where
okay.
the scene that he's being introduced, the conversation that Mel and Kan are having at that point, she's like, so you're the stalker to Mel. So obviously there's a thing where she's been having a stalker, she's had a
She
stalker,
doesn't know who.
and she doesn't know who it is.
Then it's fine because
So all I can
It was
grasp
so
from this
weird
is,
for me.
despite the title, this is one fucked up romance series.
It's
Absolutely.
Doki Doki Literature Club.
because she was just so chill and saying, "Oh yeah, we're shooting the final episode. You want a big ass fucking role in it?" I'm like, why are you introducing someone in the final fucking episode? But it's fine. It's fine.
It's the only. It does go on to become the only good episode of the series.
Yeah. Because he insults a model.
Yeah. Which
Also-
actually gets a reaction out of him for
Yeah.
once.
Also, it might not be the end of the manga. There's that too.
I thought they said they weren't gonna make more after it.
No, but that doesn't necessarily mean they adapted the whole thing.
Alright, fair.
Or
yeah.
at least they didn't adapt it in a way that made any fucking sense.
Yeah.
But even still, the writer's like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, she gets something out of the last episode at least.
Yeah, I mean, and she goes for like a whole like sort of monologue where like for manga like writers, our expectations are low for this sort of thing, which
Yeah.
has to be like bled into life.
I can get that from like just the amount of adaptations that come out and are just so mid.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just happy it happened at all.
Exactly.
exactly. I feel like it's more of a motive like, oh, you know, these pretty model boys get their promotion. People will learn about my book and maybe want to read more. I'll pop out
I
a
find
few.
that the interesting thing where it's like they've gone with a manga that's finished, which is not the commonly done thing.
Yeah.
Normally, if you're wanting to advertise a manga, you pick something that's currently running, and that way the show is an advertisement for the manga, and the show can then act as like a vessel as like advertising for the actors and stuff like that. So it's like
And a holdover for when the manga isn't releasing any new chapters or volumes.
no, because in most regards, like it'll be that the manga's quite far ahead.
Okay.
I see.
So even though it's ahead, it's probably not done. It's probably still running. Like shit, I can't talk about that because it's not come up yet, but we'll get there.
Spoilers.
Yeah. What were we talking about? I've lost my train of thought.
Sweet today.
Today. That's episode 3 and 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They have a whole ass rap party.
Yeah.
And like I thought it was a nice moment for like the writer of the manga to approach what's her face?
Kinda.
Kana and be like, you saved it. You carried that whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because she is very talented.
Yeah.
And is she in her second year at that school?
Yeah, she's a year ahead of them.
Yeah.
She's the senior, but like Ruby calls her like Lolicon.
Lolly senpai. Yeah. Giving her the respect while also giving her an insult. Just
Beautiful.
Chef's kiss.
The Ruby touch.
The Ruby touch.
Deep respect for that.
And like speaking of the school, we have 2 new characters introduced as well.
Yes, Frill Shiranui and
Pinup girl.
I'm glad I'm not the only one calling her pinup girl.
I don't remember her name.
Hold on, I got
She has pink hair.
to
Yeah.
double check.
And they mention other attributes.
Exactly.
Yes, we'll get to that.
Her pinups.
Also, who is like, yes, this 14-year-old with massive pinups.
Yeah.
Let's put her on fucking magazine.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
That's very fucked up. I don't know what those magazines look like.
Welcome to Japan.
It's fucked.
Yeah. I also find it hilarious. Ruby like fucking Google searches her
Yeah.
while she's talking to her and like, oh my god, you've got G's.
Yeah.
And she's like, bitch, what? I'm right here.
First of all, how is that on the internet? I mean,
Japan
Yeah.
and the internet.
like, how do you know?
Because it's probably been in like a magazine.
But then, who would ask that?
Gravure.
14.
Come on.
14.
Look, you're saying that like Japan makes any fucking sense in these matters.
I feel like they just, their public perception on these things isn't great.
No.
And they don't seem to care.
No, they
That's not
don't.
good.
Melina, you're gonna have to just let this go at some
No,
point. I know it's
I'm
fucked
not
up.
gonna let it go. It's fucked.
I know, I'm not disagreeing with that. It's just
Yeah. Minami is her name.
me.
Okay. Back to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ruby and Aqua, they're basically have no friends. But then Ruby makes friends. And it's like, you must be friends with my brother. He is lonely. And he has no friends.
Because he doesn't want friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
which
that is
is,
a
should be
hilarious-
fine.
Yeah.
Like, she just accepts, like, oh no, I'm just gonna, go through motions at school. It's fine. And she's like, no. I have grabbed 2 friends. You now have 2 friends.
Even
Okay.
then, like, she's not really friends with Frill. Like, she just passes by and it's Aqua who goes and approaches her and talks to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
And she like knows who he is and who Minami is, and obviously doesn't know who the fuck Ruby is because
I don't want to say, how did she get into school? Oh, she's signed. She hasn't done anything.
yeah, but I think as long as you have like
A
an
contract?
agency
Like something.
contract, yeah,
Yeah.
because what'll probably happen in some cases is that you'll sign with a an agency, and then they'll send you to that school so that you can get the education, and you can then, you know, do whatever it is.
It just feels like a bit like nepotism is, you know?
Yeah.
Where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I understand the whole protective, like, I prefer you to be with us so we can take care of you instead
Yeah.
of these shady underground
I
like
mean,
companies.
that's actually fair.
Yeah. But then you're looking at it as like, okay, so she got into the school because she was signed by her, let's say mom. Mom 1. No, mom 2.
Mom two.
two.
Mom
Mom
1's
2.
dead.
Mom 1
Yeah.
has passed.
That's the whole linchpin of the story.
Yeah. So, part of me is like, it's unfair. I'll allow it because I like Ruby, but if you were unlikable, ooh.
Melina, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm pretty sure the whole sort of nepotism thing is kind of the point.
It is kind of the point, yeah.
I figured.
Are you forgetting Kana's whole blow up in episode 1 about Aqua getting hired?
Episode 1, yeah, she
fully tears into him for it, and then does the exact same thing. And so that's kind of the point of Ruby being hired by. I don't like that they're calling it Strawberry Productions, because it loses some of the wordplay, because the guy who ran it, like Miyoko's husband, who was like originally Ai's manager and everything, his name's Ichigo. What does Ichigo mean in Japanese? Strawberry.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, so
not
it kind of just loses a little bit of that wordplay. I think they could have
yeah.
called it Ichigo in the subtitles and thrown up like a little note.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Ichigo
that would have
equals
been nice.
Strawberry.
I still was like strawberry production. You know, for idol groups, whatever.
Yeah.
Makes enough sense.
Yeah.
To have like a cutesy name.
Yeah.
But that's actually better.
Yeah.
It makes more sense.
Makes more
and
sense.
it's fun wordplay.
And
now it's just Shabari.
yeah.
Shabari.
Strawberry.
Strawberry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
On
Cute
the other
at all.
hand, that guy was a dick, and I'm glad he's not back.
Oh no!
I'm not gonna say anything.
Not back yet. We're
This
talking
is the
about
thing.
these
Like I gotta
episodes.
hold on to all the shit that I know and not say anything.
Don't spoil
I'm
this. for
talking
me.
about purely in these episodes.
Is her manager a dick though?
Yeah, I remember him being a dick in the first episode.
Was he?
Not horribly so from
No.
what I remember. Just
Just like,
Yeah.
managers in general.
Like I felt like he was kind of like a nothing character, really.
Nah. Could just be complaining that.
Yeah.
The director was more hilarious this time.
Yeah, he was funny.
They really developed his character more, which I like to see. You know, the whole. Yeah, I live with my mom. It's fine. It's cheaper. You know,
a
it's
lot of
like-
guys in my situations do that.
Yeah.
A lot of creative people in the industry do. Why would I give up this flat? I'm in the city. You know.
I did that.
We're not bringing attention to it.
No.
Um.
I mean, this is a fucking director. He's made money.
Yeah.
He's in his 40s.
Yeah.
But I love the mom. I hope we see her more. The
Yeah, she's
director's
great.
mom.
I also got to bring up that I mentioned this in the first episode, but they've also instantly invalidated their own translation of Aqua's like statement to him at the end of the first episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because remember he says in the subtitles, "Will you raise me?"
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not what he says, at least not in the manga anyway. He said, will you take me under your wing? Or
Yeah.
like, will
Yeah,
you train
yeah.
me?
Which
And so
makes more
they've-
sense.
Yeah, they've instantly invalidated their own way of rendering that, which makes no sense anyway in the original.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
But it's a fun
Imagine
little.
Aqua being raised by this fucker.
God.
Oh god.
I mean, he wouldn't be.
Yeah, because I know he's at like a 30.
Yeah, he can kind of take care of himself.
But still.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense either if you think of it in the context of episode 1. Raise me. It's like, doesn't he kind of know though?
Yeah.
He kind of ish knows.
I will
Yeah.
admit, by the way, just going off of that, there were times I completely forgot about the whole reincarnation thing.
Yeah, you will for time to time during most of
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't
I'm
until
happy.
like they were like, you got to remember, this is a guy that's been through medical school. I was like, oh yeah, he's an
Yeah.
adult man.
Something that I think the story does really interestingly here is that it kind of starts almost like blending out the reincarnation thing. Like it's still an important plot point, and so it comes up at times,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like very much that as they're getting older, they're kind of
Becoming their new lives.
yeah, sort of thing. So I'm interested to see how that kind of plays out, especially because it almost feels like this current arc's kind of throwing something in to try and regress all of that, and obviously like in an interesting way. It's not like a bullshit. Oh
Yeah,
my god,
yeah.
we're just walking back
God
everything
damn
we've
it.
done so far.
I think it's done well, yeah.
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 They just kind of, it's not making you forget it, but every now and then they're just kind of like, well, you know, keep in mind these
Yeah.
people have lived a life.
Yeah.
Like, even for Ruby, they mention it's like, I just want to do whatever, because, you know, in a past life, I wasn't able to do absolutely
Yeah.
nothing. Like, you know,
Which is why she's so like headstrong and like getting the idol thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's what she always wanted, I
Yeah,
suppose,
yeah.
or
And
what she dreamed
She's
of.
fucking obsessed.
She is
Yeah.
obsessed. And Aqua's like, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
I will go to the fucking limit
Yeah.
to prevent you
I
from
will
doing
go to
it.
the ends of the earth to crush this fucking dream.
Shocker!
You can't escape me. It's just him like chasing like Ruby's dream.
He goes too far though. Like he.
Oh, this isn't even the.
Oh my god!
I am so excited to see how far he's going to go because this is fucking
'Cause
hilarious.
it is a weird dynamic when you think about it. Like, okay, they're twins, but she passed away at like 12, and he passed away at 30 something.
Yeah.
So they technically grew up together
They're
now.
technically twins.
But
They have a wealth of difference in their life
oh,
experience.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So like the dynamic between them is something that's we cannot relate to. Like he was her doctor.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
now they're the same age.
I like the way they kind of show some of that. Where like at the end of the second episode, where we kind of look back to the end of the first episode when they're leaving for school, he's like, "Isn't that skirt a bit short?" And like it's kind of like I'd say a normal-ish
Yeah.
length, and she's like, "Why do you sound so fucking old sometimes?"
Like he cares about her, which carries over from I think especially the first episode
Yeah,
where he's like,
but
I
he
care
also
for
doesn't.
her.
You got to remember, neither of them know.
No, like I was gonna bring this up. At no point during like their 15 years in their new lives did they ever talk about their past lives to each other.
No. They're very much
mean-
trying to keep it from each other.
Yeah, Aqua
Yeah.
has noticed bits. In the first episode, he was like, "That's a thing."
Could it
She
be?
used
And then he
to say."
swiftly ignores it. 'cause
Yeah,
he's like, there's no
exactly.
point in thinking about it. It
Yeah.
doesn't change anything. So, like, while we as an audience are aware, they aren't aware
Can
of
they
each
fucking
other.
communicate for once?
Yeah, they're siblings.
Yeah, you know, they're like, "Oh yeah, I have memories of my past." Like, same.
Why would
Nah,
they
but you
communicate
see-
that, though?
No,
Why
what you
not?
see, they're siblings. They never communicate.
I mean, like,
There's
fair.
that.
They
But yeah,
communicate just by whipping. Like,
Yeah. That's
I
how it
totally
works.
could see Ruby doing that and Aqua being like, what the fuck is that? What are you doing? Have you lost your mind?
If they ever really interact with each other, it's basically just a middle finger to,
yeah,
to like
that,
each
that's
other.
the most like natural sibling relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just why? What did you do? It's like, I trashed your room. It's like, why? Don't
Felt
know.
like it. I
Don't
was
know.
bored.
Felt like it. Cool. I'm gonna do it to you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal your shit.
Cool. Whatever. Hate you.
Aight.
It's like, okay. See you at dinner.
Go
See
fuck
ya.
yourself.
It's just that, you know, you can say fuck you, and then 2 minutes after, like, I'm gonna go out for dinner.
Yeah.
Get something to eat. No? Okay.
I hate you, but I will also force my friends to be your friends.
Yeah.
You worst brother. But you're lonely, so here, have some friends. Friends, talk to him.
I don't want
Befriend
friends.
him.
Fuck off.
This is also the best point to bring up the whole sister complex thing.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I said this to Shaun last night. I was like, it's been making me wildly uncomfortable when they bring it up because in no other context have I heard it referencing like overprotectiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only ever heard it
As the other thing.
as the other as like a
Yeah.
sexual.
As like the Alabama thing.
As,
Yeah.
as in the stepsister. Oh no.
Insert Pornhub theme here. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I was
See you getting ready to do it. Don't fucking do it.
But it threw me for a loop a bit where I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, but I was like, oh, you mean it like innocently. I know you mean it innocently, but I'm not gonna.
The,
I'm not
the moment
gonna
they
read
said
it
that, I was
that.
like, oh, that's wrong on so many levels.
Yeah,
and
'cause, like-
y'all don't even know.
You don't even know how wrong it is.
When I was like reading it in the manga, it was the interaction between Ruby and Kana. When I read it, wasn't sure who said what part. I wasn't sure who said he had a sister complex and who was like, "Oh, that's disgusting." Like, because in that panel, there weren't any lines to show
Oh, no.
who the bubbles were for because it was continuing on from like
Oh,
the
yeah.
last one. So I was like reading it and I'm like, who the fuck? And
Which
so
is
watching
worse?
it, I was like, who the fuck's gonna say it? Because either one's bad, but one is worse than the other. And
yeah.
it was Ruby, and I was like,
Oh no.
ah!
They picked option bad. Or option worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've been enjoying it. I think it's weird because like tonally it's not chill, but at the same time it's
very
chill.
chill.
It's very
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a pay attention. It's not a background show.
No, no,
Maybe
no.
once you've seen it, you'll put it on a
Yeah,
background.
like
Yeah.
I'll admit I was kind of just vibing because I knew what was going on.
Exactly, and I think the length of the episodes works very well.
Yeah, welcome to 23-minute anime
Yeah,
episodes.
no, that's like it keeps your attention span going for long enough. Because I felt like the first episode, as interested as I was in it, and it was very well done and everything, it does drag at times.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like it turns out, as I've learned, like just watching these episodes, my attention span is very much more susceptible to these like 20-minute episode intervals than like 2-hour long movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a me problem I'm aware of.
It is a you problem.
it's just nice to have like bite-sized pieces. You have a little break in between, and you
Yeah.
don't just pause and hope you're not in the middle of like a build-up of something.
It's funny because I paused Ninja Scroll a couple of times, and I watched all 3 episodes of Oshinoko back to back without pausing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because that's why I watched Oshinoko last, because I was like, we'll take like hour and something of my time. And then, doing something in between also helps me kind of differentiate the
Yeah.
episodes. Because when I watch something all back to back,
Uh-huh.
I have no distinction
Yeah,
between
that's
anything.
fair.
That's why I like try and split up between like days for me when I'm watching stuff. I will say though, the real reason I watched Oshinoko first is because when I went to watch Ninja Scroll first, I actually got caught up in my hyperfixation.
You were playing Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. So I kind of missed when I was supposed to start, and I was like, oh fuck, I don't have enough time to watch it, so I'll just start Oshinoko. So I watched 2 episodes, like the night before, and then like yesterday morning I watched the 3rd episode, and then later that night I watched Ninja Scroll.
I think if I wasn't familiar with Oshinoko, I'd probably do sort of similar, where like I'd break up the episodes so I had like I knew which episode was which. But I think when I was reading the manga, I would read it by like arc. So if that was like 20 or 30 chapters, I'd just sit
And
and go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So the whole arc was just one big thing to me. And so it's only when I've hit like watching the anime, like I can sort of separate it. Even though I'm watching them back to back, it's like a bit easier to go,
Yeah,
okay, so that's episode
exactly.
2, episode 3, and episode 4. How are we doing?
This time wise.
Just over an hour.
That's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Well, that was timing.
What? Huh?
How likely are you to recommend this piece?
Piss off. I am not likely to recommend anyone this after my whole fucking ordeal last night.
Oh, we'll talk about
We'll
that
talk
at
about
the
that
lunch
in
break.
that mess.
That's for us to know and for you to never find out.
Oh, I might tell it on the podcast, who knows, because it was a fucking riot.
Oh, okay. So, listen to Nap if you want to hear that story then. And like,
Shell.
actually, depending on when this episode come out, it might have already been out for like weeks, or it could be a month from now.
I genuinely don't know.
Who fucking knows?
It could be weeks from now because this is getting moved forward in the schedule. So,
Okay. We'll see what happens, dear listener.
yeah. Is there anything anyone else wants to cover with Oshinoko?
I just had a lot of fun with like watching these, and I'm really looking forward to watching
Yeah.
more. I'm glad we're watching like the whole season now.
I was glad, at least when you said you liked it, and I know you're kind of like neutral on it.
Yeah, I'm not dreading watching more. It's I wouldn't compare it to Lupin because I like Lupin more, but because there's multiple.
No, I get it. It's that same
you
sort
get
of
it.
fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I'm excited to be in the vibe again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
sort of like very light-hearted, sort of really fun like vibe. that,
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I understand where you're coming
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
Because I'll admit I felt the same thing.
Man, you
Or
guys
you,
need
like-
way more barriers.
You
Bars
just
for
kind
comparison.
of, you sit down and you're like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
get this
enjoying-
go.
I'm
let's
enjoying this.
let's just throw this all at me
yeah.
and just take it in.
Yeah, I'm excited for the next batch episode because that's the reality dating show, which is it's got some stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
gonna be
kind
fun.
of mention it in the final episode. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, episode 4 is so weirdly fucking structured because the producer says that to Aqua, and I'm like, okay, title card credits, because that's kind of how it's been going.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole other like 10-minute section where they just are at school, and I'm like, what?
What?
I'm like, oh yeah, we haven't checked in with Ruby in a little bit. I guess we're gonna do that. And then fucking Frill walks into the room, and I'm like, ah!
Green girl.
Because
Serpent lady.
this is the thing, like,
She
what?
is scary somehow, isn't she?
Yeah, like reading the manga, like, I'm never sure how to interpret anyone's hair color because it's obviously in black
Yeah,
and white.
black
Yeah,
and
yeah.
white.
So I didn't expect
Pin-up girl.
pin-up girls to be
Yeah.
pink, nor to have pink eyes as well. That kind
Yeah.
of threw me
That's a
for a
choice.
loop. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very anime choice.
Yeah. And then, so I was like, oh, I don't know what Frill's going to look like. The way her hair's kind of drawn, I was like, oh, maybe it's kind of like a light color. Her eyes are going to be like a light color. And then she walks into the room and I'm like, I didn't expect green.
Green.
Why does she look like a
Mossy
lizard?
green.
It's the swamp girl.
She's the prettiest girl. I'm like,
Maybe even in the manga, she's not really.
I mean, pin-up girl's like right there.
yeah, it's like, come on, everyone.
I also love how they drew Ruby meeting Pinup Girl, where it shows like their lines of sight,
yeah,
like with arrows on the screen. I was like, that's fun way to do
that
that.
checks out.
I
Yeah.
loved like the sort of running joke as well with I think Akana, where she's like, it's like the arrow like stabbing
Yeah,
her. I haven't
I
seen
love
you in
that.
a long time. I was like, damn, that is a perfect way to visualize
Yeah.
that. Best girl.
Best girl. Yeah.
Sorry, Melina.
What?
You're just like awkwardly sitting there while we're saying best girl.
Yeah. I think that's everything. I don't think I
Yeah.
have anything else I want to mention.
Because again, we're still in the ride, you know? We
Yeah,
cannot give
yeah.
overall thoughts, but like, episodes were good.
Yeah.
I have very few, like, oh, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. School's weird. That's the biggest.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't get what you're doing.
I think it's one of those things you just need to like kind of accept that
Exactly.
it's just there to say they're at school.
Don't worry.
They aren't being neglected. Don't worry about
There
it.
are
It's
laws.
not the point of this,
Yeah, yeah.
this story.
We're not gonna be here long. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may get brought up on occasion, but don't
Don't
worry
worry.
about it.
It's a set piece.
So yeah, I guess we should mention that we're going to be covering the rest. So next, not the next episode, but like the next end of the month episode, excuse me, is going to cover episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if you want to watch along with us, you can do that. It's streaming on High Dive, like I mentioned. And then the episode after, we're going to do 9, 10, and 11, and that's going to be the end of the season.
How many episodes have come out at the time of recording?
7 and a half.
Is that the recap?
This is the
episode?
recap one,
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, 7 and a recap. So once these episodes actually come out on the podcast, the show should be done. I think
cool.
episode 1 will come out the week the last episode
Oh,
airs.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I think we're capturing it at the right time.
Good.
So yeah, I think we'll save the rating until the end of the season.
Yeah.
I think we've rated the first episode, but like, I think that's fair. It is sort of like a movie.
Yeah, it's more
Yeah.
it's more a prologue than
Yeah.
anything else.
It does feel a bit disconnected.
Yeah. And from here, it's kind of like it feels how you expect a story like this to feel, where it's like
Yeah.
continuously going on and on. So yeah, we'll wait until the end of the season and rate it. So
Stick around.
Stick around. Yeah.
Find out next time,
Gotta
or
get those-
really the time after that.
those views. So if you want to keep listening, hit that subscribe button.
yeah. That Patreon that we don't have.
We
Get
don't
on.
have.
if you want us to have one, let us know.
Yeah. Don't think we have enough listeners. I'd feel a bit
Our
weird
collective
taking
like 10 listeners.
Yeah, I would feel a bit weird
Yeah.
taking in like 20 quid from like 2 people.
I don't.
I need money.
So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. I think we're just
Yeah.
gonna end
Yeah,
it
let's
here.
just end it.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.